Welcome everyone, this is the IPP Education Hub. If you are considering an inflatable penile prosthesis, or if you are partnering someone who is going through the IPP journey, then you've come to the right place for the questions that you may have. Today I'm answering a question that I get quite often from others, which is, can other people tell that I have an IPP? The short answer, and the answer that seems to be relieving for most men, is that no, other people cannot tell that you have an IPP. Now, there are different types of penile implants, as I've said in other videos, and the version that I have is the inflatable penile implant, which is the Coloplast Titan One Touch. And while all of these versions of implants are slightly different, the technology is at a point where other people should not be able to tell that you have an implant. The entire thing is internal and it goes inside of your body. I've talked before about the two tubes that go down the shaft of the penis, as well as the reservoir that goes inside of the body next to the bladder, as well as the pump that is located inside the scrotum behind your testicles. All three of those parts are all located inside of your body and nobody will be able to see them at all. One thing to keep in mind is that the IPP surgery will change your anatomy. For those of you who maybe were what you would consider a grower, after getting the IPP surgery, you will become a full-time shower. This is because penile implants stretch your penis to its full maximum length, which it will always be. The only difference is now when you pump it up with the pump that's inside of your scrotum, the tubes that are inside of the penis will fill with the saline and become more rigid while still having that length. So I think the key point here is that if you are someone who used to be a grower, but now with the IPP, you will be a shower. If you find satisfaction in knowing that you now look a different way, then you will enjoy that and have that peace of mind after getting the surgery. However, nobody else is going to know if you look how you did before or after, unless you have a long-term partner, but in those cases, they'll have a complete understanding of what you've been going through with the IPP journey. And it's not that they'll be able to see your implant. They'll just notice that you are now a shower. I would also say that the two most common places that people are considerate of whether or not others can see their IPP are, one, at the gym, and two, when it comes to new intimate partners. When you're at the gym and you're in the locker room, the truth is nobody is going to notice. There's no bulge or difference in your anatomy that screams, I have an implant. And I've never had anyone look at me and say anything weird. Now, I like to tell people about my implant because of the benefits that I think it can have both for themselves as well as maybe their partners and the intimate relationships that they're having. But when it comes to being visibly noticeable, it's not like people are noticing that I have an implant. So if you're someone who goes to the gym often and you take showers and you're in the locker room or whatever, and you're concerned that having an IPP is going to be noticeable, it won't be. It's an internal prosthesis and none of the pieces are visible for anybody to see. The other scenario where people are often considerate of whether or not others can see their implant is when they are having intimate experiences with their partners. From my experience, women have never said anything or noticed beforehand or during intimacy. Now, sometimes I will speak with my partners beforehand and let them know, hey, I have this medical innovation. It's called an IPP. Let me tell you a little bit more about it. And then I get to tell them all the exciting things that I enjoy about the IPP. However, there are times where I will not tell someone until maybe after, and it's in these moments that maybe we're having pillow talk and the person and I will kind of get on the topic and they'll say, interestingly, I thought you might have had a third testicle. And it's in these moments that I get to explain what exactly is going on, how it works, what the benefits are, and why I am such an advocate for getting an IPP. Because it's in these times that I feel like women are genuinely curious, and I believe that there are a number of reasons why this device is so wonderful, and it makes for really good conversation after intimacy. Now, the one thing that I will touch on, but I'll leave this for another video, is I noticed that I get a little bit more visual attention towards my pants. And I don't think that this is anything odd. I'll just say that it's a unique place to be in a scenario where you have an implant as a male and you can see how people sort of look and observe. I'll talk about that more in another video. But as I wrap this one up, I just want to confirm that if you are considering an IPP and you're wondering, can other people tell that I have this implant or that this implant is part of my body? The answer is no, they won't be able to. It's private, it's discreet. The only changes that it really has are going to make you feel more confident, both physically as well as how you can perform during intimate moments. So I hope that puts your mind at ease if you are considering an IPP, or if you are partnering someone who is considering the IPP journey and maybe you're just really thoughtful of how this device might look. The good news is that it's not going to change your anatomy in a negative way, or at least that hasn't been my experience. Thank you so much for watching this video here at the IPP Education Hub. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and turn on those notifications so that you're in the loop every time I release a new video here on this channel. As always, be kind to yourself and be kind to others. See you next time.